And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from Sandra Liddy, who asked the question, who win a fight, Galactus or Ghidorah? Both are eaters of worlds. Both both are destroyers. Both are smarter than they look, and one of them curb stomps the other. And I think we all know who that is. Let's be fair, though. Ghidorah is. We actually don't know if Ghidorah is an artificially created creature or if it's just something that's been enslaved by the aliens of Planet X and is under their control for destroying worlds, for like terraforming, whatever. We don't know that about Ghidorah's origin. More than likely, it's something that was actually artificially created because we know that's kind of how it happened a little bit. It was actually a bit of a mix of both in the Heisei series, where you had the Dorats, which were natural creatures, or possibly again created by the aliens from Planet X, and then they were turned into Ghidorah. Either way, the Ghidorah is bad. Even in the weakest versions of Ghidorah is strong enough to literally absorb so much energy from the sun that it dimmed. And keep in mind that the light from the sun takes like 5 to 6 minutes to hit us. So for it to just take that much energy from the sun is immense. Ghidorah is one of the few kaiju that can legitimately one-on-one beat Godzilla in a fight. Although Godzilla can do the same. It depends on which version you look at and then the writers. But Ghidorah is a giant, large, multiple story tall kaiju. 3 heads, each with its own separate personality. The middle head seems to be the head, if you will. It has no arms, just has 2 large wings, a tail that's forked. Split, if you will, and 2 legs. It's capable of unleashing what's known as gravity beams, which, let's be honest, is just electric blast. But still, gravity beams. Absorbing energy and otherwise wreaking havoc. There are different interpretations of Ghidorah over the years, obviously. The Showa era is arguably the weakest one. Heisei is extremely powerful. Especially if there's also Ghidorah's showed up in the Mothra series, and that Ghidorah was actually very powerful, including being able to create a force field and mind control people. Then there's Kaiser Ghidorah from Final Wars, who was an amped up super version of Ghidorah that was actually beating Millennium series Godzilla. Mind you, while most of the movies in the Millennium series aren't connected, Godzilla is, you might as well say that this Godzilla is still roughly the same Godzilla, kind of. And that Godzilla survived freaking a black hole to the face, the absolute zero cannon blowing up in its face. So that Godzilla was no joke. And Ghidorah was able to actually whoop his ass without until he got an amp as well. And then you have the legendary series Ghidorah, who's also very just as him existing, it causes a huge country-sized hurricane that's pretty much terraforming the planet just by existing. This Ghidorah also can survive the oxygen destroyer because he's not of this world. Has mass regenerative capabilities and can survive arguably the vacuum of space. It was able to drop Godzilla from orbit, which then Godzilla literally started to burn up. So yeah, he dropped him from orbit. And Ghidorah's like, yeah, this is me. This is how I roll. And then you have, obviously, Godzilla Earth, the anime version of Ghidorah, who is an extra-dimensional being that literally feeds on energy and planets and warps space and time just by existing. It is anchored to our reality, though, by someone, through an object. If the object is destroyed, Ghidorah is then susceptible to the laws of physics of the world he inhabits. Because other than that, otherwise, he's just an intangible creature who cannot be touched. So yeah, Ghidorah is very powerful. Ghidorah gets completely curb stomped by Galactus in any form, including anime Ghidorah, which is the most powerful one. Now, why is this the case? Why is it the case? Well, let's keep the anime one out of the equation for just a second. None of these Ghidorahs are universal level threats, are cosmic level threats. They're planetary threats. Every single version of Ghidorah is a planetary threat. You can even make an argument that maybe a solar system level threat because they can absorb the energy of the sun. Galactus, see, the way the Galactus literally has to survive by eating plants. First and foremost, size-wise, Galactus is far larger than Ghidorah. Even in his smallest form, he's far larger. Just looking at what you see in this picture right here. You see that thing right above his shoulder there? That's a freaking space shuttle. And that thing is just the size of his forearm. So do the math comparison on the size alone. But I don't know the fact that Ghidorah is a planetary level threat, solar system at best. Galactus is a being who survived the destruction, the crunch, if you will, of the previous iteration of the Marvel Universe. He is a multiversal level being, capable of just absorbing cosmic energy, annihilating planets without any second thought. A master of technology, genius, has lived for eons, and even in his weakest state, is capable of still going toe-to-toe with some hefty, strong individuals. At his strongest, he's a multiversal level combatant. At his weakest, he's still a planetary level threat. So right out the gate, let's just, again, taking anime Ghidorah out of the equation for a second here. Galactus is, at his weakest, roughly around the same level of power as, not even roughly at the same level of power, but it's the type of threat that Ghidorah is at his weakest. At his strongest, if he wanted to, he could wreak havoc on the entire universe. And is even possibly a multiversal level threat. Though he's more on the low tier multiversal, to be fair. But still, he's an equivalent. He is a comparable individual, if not maybe even greater than the Celestials, who are reality warpers, world shapers, universal level combatants in their own right. But the question is, the one version of, so none of the versions of Ghidorah up until the anime or beyond really can do anything against him. Even the comic version wouldn't be that strong. And I'm not doing that game version, the Hyperverse. I don't even know. I've never played that game. I don't reference that at all. I just find that stupid. But the anime version, how does Galactus be an individual who theoretically he shouldn't be able to touch, warp space and time just by existing? And absorbs the energy of whatever he basically comes in contact to and decides to just go on feed on. Well, let's actually break down a little bit what Galactus brings to the table here. So the Earth 616 Galactus is a cosmic entity of dimensional power. Is one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe, having limitless godlike powers. So he's being considered to be an omnipotent entity. His cosmic powers are beyond most forms of measurement. He was once referred to as the most awesome living entity in the cosmos. Thanos, with the Infinity Gauntlet, ranked him around the same level of power as Odin, Zeus, the Celestials, the Stranger, and well below Master Order, Lord Chaos, Mistress Love, and Sire Hate, who in turn were well below Eternity and Infinity, who were below the Living Tribe. As such, Galactus is able to employ the cosmic energies within him to produce virtually any effect he desires. After devouring 4 planets, Galactus is shown capable of fighting 4 mad Celestials and destroying one of them, although they fused together into a powerful Voltron-like celestial entity and defeated him. Galactus has shown the ability to overcome Odin, and who is also a multiversal level opponent. And in fact, the virtual omniscience Oblivion remarked that the Galactus battle against Scryer and the other affected reality itself. Galactus and his heralds are stated to be cosmic level threats. He is immortal. He has survived. He's said to survive until the end of the universe. He has godlike strength. You can't measure it. Godlike stamina, godlike speed, and vulnerability. Immune to most in all diseases, so forth and so on. Energy projection. Energy absorption. So this is the thing. Ghidorah theoretically is still made of energy. He's projected, but he can still interact with the world, which means he has some. It's not corporeal, but he does have some form. So it's possible that while he tries to Galactus' energy, he could just steal the energy right back from Ghidorah. It's obviously his most viable power, as his survival depends on absorbing the life force from planets and stars. During his fight with Mephisto, he was shown to be capable of absorbing an entire domain. Molecular reconstruction can manipulate, reshape, and rearrange the molecular complexity of any organism, allowing him to rebuild or design things internally. Matter transmutation, teleportation, interdimensional and extra-dimensional portals. He can create wormholes between dimensions within dimensions, which means Ghidorah's technically Ghidorah is being an extra-dimensional individual whose real form, or who was bound by, or basically being an extra-dimensional thing with like a incorporeal body actually doesn't really matter in this case. Soul creation and manipulation, power ability and bestowal, healing abilities, and his appearance adapts to whoever's looking at him. So yeah, even the anime Ghidorah, while a powerful being, it falls very short of someone like Galactus, in my opinion. If Ghidorah started to absorb Galactus' energy, Galactus just absorbs it right back, and probably does something to either manipulate this being's soul, rip it out, starts absorbing all of this energy he has, or just rips him apart from his dimensional connection, and then tears him a new one. So yeah, I think Galactus is pretty much, this is a curb stomp for Galactus, even against the anime version. And all the weaker versions can't really do anything against him. This is like what happens when someone asks me to put Space Godzilla against Darkseid. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a very big stomp very quick. But either way, that is my thoughts. But do you believe differently? Do you think that Ghidorah in any incarnation could actually beat Galactus straight out? Let me know in the comments below. But until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks for the next one. I still got to catch up on my box office, and I'll be good for the day.